This time of year, there are lists and videos and social media roundups and articles everywhere about gifts for book lovers, and I'm here to tell you that most of them are trash. I have gotten some truly horrible book-related gifts over the years. I'm talking horrible scented book candles, art that looks awful in my space, books I've already read, books that I would never read. You know what I've never complained about? A bookstore gift card. But I'm assuming that you're here because you don't want to get your beloved bookworm an all access pass to their local bookstore for whatever reason. You want to get them an actual gift, so I'm going to attempt to be helpful. I'm Sam, I'm a romance author based in the UK, and I'm also an avid reader, and I'm going to give you 4 rules to help you navigate these lists as you're shopping for your beloved bookworms. And I'm also going to hop online with you, and we're going to walk through some of these lists and websites together to try to figure out what's a good idea and what's a bad idea. Rule number 1, this might sound counterintuitive, but do not buy actual books for your book lover friends. Unless you have access to a list where you know it's up to date and you know exactly what it is that they want to read, this is actually a really dangerous game to play. They might have already read the book, or it might be a genre or author that they don't really like or enjoy that much. It's really difficult to nail a bookworm's taste in books without accidentally duplicating a book that they've already read or discarded for another reason. So honestly, it's best to just steer clear of that. Again, don't underestimate the value of a bookstore voucher, and this may be the one instance where getting someone a gift card is not phoning it in. I am sure your book lover friends would love a gift card. But again, we're here to talk about physical gifts. Rule number 2, don't buy someone something for their house. Don't buy them lamps, don't buy them bookshelves. People's houses are done to their taste, and they probably enjoy picking things out to go in their space. And you buying them something that they are going to have to put in their space, look at and use every day is a huge, huge, huge commitment. Even if you find something that you are certain that they would like, genuinely I would steer away from this category. Otherwise, they're going to have to either have something in their space that they don't like, or they're going to have to hide it away and only bring it out when you're visiting, and neither of those things sounds like very much fun for them. Rule number 3 might sound super specific, but it is about book-scented candles. You've got 2 genres of book-scented candles. You've got candles that are meant to actually smell like books or libraries or bookstores or whatever, and then you've got candles that are normal-ish scents but are inspired by books or simply have a book cover slapped on the front of them. For the first genre, I am convinced that people don't actually like the specific smell of books, they just like the sensory experience of opening a book. And bottling that scent is usually not actually that pleasant. So really pay attention to what the scent is actually described as if you're looking at these candles, because I can't personally imagine lighting a candle that smells like old books and thinking, ooh yeah, that hits the spot. In your other genre, you've got fairly normal scents, but lighting a candle and unwinding and relaxing is such a personal experience, and people have really strong preferences for the scents of candles that they enjoy. I personally don't like really fruity scents, for example, or overly sweet ones. Other people don't like the spicy and earthy scents that I do. So if you're gonna do this, make sure that you have, first of all, a really strong understanding of what scents they do enjoy, and second of all, what are the scents that are actually in the candle. Don't just get them one because it's their favorite book. Make sure it's something that they're going to actually enjoy as well. Otherwise, it's just gonna sit on the shelf, and that's not the point of a candle. Plus, dusty candles are a fire hazard, didn't you know? 4th rule is about clothing. Please, 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 if you are going to get someone book-related clothing, which I don't think is a bad idea, please get their size right. I am begging you. There's nothing more humiliating or that makes you more self-conscious than opening something from a friend and putting it on and it not fitting. And all of a sudden you are super self-conscious and you just want to be anywhere else. They're never gonna wear it if it doesn't fit them. So please get the sizing right. Pay attention to international conversions. Pay attention to actual measurements, not just letter sizes, especially if you're ordering on the internet. Editing Sam here. I also forgot to mention about bookmarks, because this will come up in the shopping section of the video. Bookmarks are a really personal preference for a reader. Either someone uses them or they don't. I personally am an absolute heathen and I dog ear my books to keep my place. So if someone buys me a bookmark, I will probably never use it. On the other hand, someone who already has like really nice bookmarks, those are the ones they're using every single time. Like if they've already got a nice personalized one, anything you get them is unlikely to replace that. And if it does, it's like replacing another sentimental item. So if you want to get someone a nice bookmark, which we will go through a couple of those in the next section, your best bet is to get it for someone who uses bookmarks, but they're using like the really cheap ones that you can get at the library or just like cheap plastic ones, because they're people that clearly look after a bookmark. They keep the bookmark around, but they don't already have premium bookmarks that they love. That's probably your best audience for bookmarks. If someone dog ears pages like me, or if they just use whatever's around them, like a receipt or something, or if they already have some really nice bookmarks, it's probably not the right choice. Which honestly just goes to prove the point of a lot of these things, which is just make sure that you know the person. We're going to see in the video in a second a lot of like crossover gifts. So gifts where it sort of crosses reading with another hobby, and it just doesn't work if it doesn't fit with the person's interests. And it just goes back to the fact that when gifting, the most important thing is that you know someone and you pay attention to their life. If you don't know them that well and you're getting them a gift for a Secret Santa or because you're only just starting to get close or something like that, don't worry, I've got you. There's going to be some recommendations throughout and sort of a recap of my favorite ideas at the end. But if you do know the person, try to like pay attention to their life and the things about their reading habits before you try to buy them a gift that's going to start to fill some of those purposes. Okay, so those are our 4 rules. Number 1, no books. Number 2, no home stuff. Number 3, no scented candles. And number 4, be careful with clothing. Obviously, the caveat here is that if you are gifting to someone who has a really specific list, that can take some of the guesswork out of it. And if you know that someone has something specific, that's safe, even if it's in one of these categories. If it's not on a list, but it's in one of those categories, you might be better off finding something else. So what is that something else? Let's go find out. There's plenty of this on the internet. Let's go look at it together and see if we can't find some really good bookish ideas for your bookworm pals. All right, so keeping in mind our basic rules, let's have a look at some of these websites and articles specifically for book lover gifts and see if they are leading you astray or actually doing you a solid. And we're starting with New York Magazine, who you can see here are actually already following one of our rules in that they are saying best gifts for bookworms that aren't books. So they are following our first rule in not recommending books, but let's see how well they do otherwise. This lamp is not only breaking our rule about not getting things for the home, but this is such a specific aesthetic. I personally don't really like it. I think it's kind of ugly, but I also understand that I guess it could look good in some spaces. This does not feel like an appropriate gift, so not doing so well so far. I actually have this lamp, not this exact one because I did not spend $225 on mine, but I have a very similar one. But the thing is, I bought it for myself because I knew that it would look good and that I would use it. Listen, if you want to buy me Beats headphones, then I will absolutely wear them, but it doesn't really feel like a book gift. I don't really understand what that has to do with reading or writing other than the fact that like everyone wears headphones. I don't know. It just doesn't feel thematic to me. All right, getting someone a Kindle is not only basically the same as getting them books, but it's actually maybe worse because people tend to have very strong opinions on e-readers. They either massively prefer ebooks, in which case they probably already have an e-reader, or they much prefer physical books. The other thing is you're kind of locking them into buying their books from Amazon if you get them a Kindle, and some people don't want to do that. I think that artwork, even when it's a custom print like this, and maybe especially when it's a custom print like this, falls into the category of getting things for the home. And the reason is because this is meant to go up on someone's wall. Like, this would actually look quite nice in my room, but what if that's not what someone's got going on? And are you going to be If not offended, a little bit disappointed when they don't like hang it in pride of place? Probably. And so why would you do that to yourself? And why would you do that to them? Just don't bother. $100 on a temperature control ceramic mug feels a bit excessive, but I would not hate this gift. This actually looks great. Another one of our rules, book-related candles. Not doing so well, New York Magazine. Not doing so well. I mean, to be fair, this beloved candle sounds like it slaps. Still, I think it's too much of a risk. Snack of the Month Club. I mean, I love the idea of this. I just, again, really struggle to see the relevance. Bookshelves, terrible idea. If they love books, they already have a bookshelf, I promise you. And if they don't, it's because they like the aesthetic of having books stacked all around them. They love the drama of will it crush me at any moment. If someone got me bookends that looked like this, I would severely question our entire friendship. It's literally a white piece of metal. I think this one's like a little bit too simple for a fancy bookmark, but I also think that it's too expensive to be just a throwaway bookmark. So I don't hate these postcards. I think that's a nice idea, but just be realistic with yourself about if you expect them to actually use it and make sure that it aligns with what you know about the person. And then we get into a category called gifts for marking up books. So we're gonna stop this article now before I start to get really angry. So now let's take a look at the gifts for book lovers section of Not on the High Street. I have personally ordered several things from Not on the High Street. It does tend to be like personalized things. So interested in this. Again, yeah, we've got a personalized leather bookmark. Because it's personalized, I think it could be like a nice premium bookmark. But again, remember, you only want to get someone a premium bookmark if you know that they use bookmarks religiously, but they're only using crap ones so far. I actually think this bookmark is super cute. Again, wouldn't use it myself because I'm a heathen, but if you're looking for a premium bookmark, something like this is really nice. I hate these scratch bucket list posters because it's like, oh yes, what I need more of in the hobby that I do for fun is someone telling me how to do it. Like if you go voluntarily look up book recommendations, that's one thing, but like having a poster on your wall that's telling you how much you're failing at reading the most important books in the world just feels like a bad idea to me. Please don't buy that for me. I actually really love this bookend that's like a vase. I bought something really similar for a friend one time that was like bookends that were plant pots because I knew she really liked both plants and books. This one, you've got to fill it with flowers, but like depending on who you're buying for, that could be a really good option. These are really cute, these literary seeds, but again, you want to make sure that it's someone that is going to be into gardening as well. And similar here, tea set gift for book lovers. Really great as long as you know they drink tea. See, I like this in concept, but jewelry is very similar to like art and homeware to me in that like someone's taste is going to be super specific. So unless you know that someone likes to wear novelty jewelry, I would maybe steer clear of this. Like, I really like this in concept, but I much prefer like simple jewelry. So I would probably love them when I receive them and then never wear them. This is nice. I like this.
Ooh, this is nice.
So this is a vase where you get to like make up the title of the book and say what it's gonna look like. I am obsessed with this. Okay, this is like probably really like niche to me because this would look really cute in my house, but like I love this and 100% want this. So it's kind of expensive, but like if any of my friends or family watching want to buy this for me, like absolutely please do. Just like make sure you're really witty with what you put as the title of my book because otherwise I will judge you. Love this book-related jigsaw puzzle. Again, want to make sure it's someone that actually likes jigsaw puzzles, but I happen to like jigsaw puzzles, so that's a good option. Okay, let's move on to Uncommon Goods, who have this reading gifts category here. You can see they've got it alongside like history gifts and STEM gifts, which makes me feel like I'm back in school, but let's go for it anyway. Okay, it seems to be lots of like personalizable books. Don't buy me a history of the Chicago Bears because I won't want it. Okay, personalized children's books, that's an option. Like Is the kid going to get as much enjoyment out of that as you will have spent on it? Probably not. But you could get points with book loving parents as well for that one. Oh, I love these. I love these so much. Okay, again, you want to make sure it's someone that's really crafty and doesn't mind like building things. But like if someone got me one of these book nooks to do, I would like love that. They do tend to be a bit expensive, and this is actually on the cheaper end of the ones that I've seen. So definitely a good option. Just be really aware as well, I think, with book lovers, getting them anything that's Harry Potter themed, even if you know they like Harry Potter, maybe let them buy that for themselves, because a lot of people aren't buying themselves Harry Potter themed things anymore, or at least not officially licensed Harry Potter things, because of who those proceeds would go to. I don't think that this is Harry Potter themed. It just says time travel on it, actually, but because it was a train, it looked like the Hogwarts Express, I thought I'd bring it up. Okay, so I just went to say how much I hate this like book tulip thing, and then I hovered over it and saw the pink and purple ones and was like, all of a sudden I actually love that, which just goes to show you, like, when you're looking at buying someone decor, it is amazing how much of a difference the smallest details can make. And so you really want to make sure that you are buying them exactly what they would want. And the best way to do that is not to do it and let them buy it for themselves. Send them a link, say, hey, saw this, made me think of you. And if they say, I love it, get it for me for Christmas, then you can do that. But if they don't, then that's fine. They still realize that you were thinking of them, and it's the thought that counts. Because if you bought me this red one, I wouldn't freaking know what to do with it. But either of these ones, I would love and would happily put up in my house. So just be really careful with that. Okay, tote bags. Let's talk about tote bags, because tote bag users have too many tote bags already. Non-tote bag users like this girl have too many tote bags already. It's so unlikely that you are going to get someone the tote bag that is going to become their go-to tote. So honestly, just skip it. Also, I appreciate that like the ethos of carrying a tote bag is like sustainability, but actually canvas totes are not that sustainable to produce. So like just adding one to someone's collection is doing no one any favors. I love the holiday ornaments. It feels a little bit weird to get someone a holiday ornament for Christmas, but like, okay, if that's a thing that you do, or if you exchange ornaments with someone every year, like that could be a really good option. Oh, love this. Novelty book tins, War and Peach, Oliver Lemon Twist. I love this. As a tea drinker, I would love to get this, but again, want to make sure someone's a tea drinker. Ooh, you could get someone a candle care kit for all the crappy book-related candles people are getting them. Perfect. All right, now let's look at Bookishly, which is a website that's entirely dedicated to book lover paraphernalia. And actually, let's just look at their categories and see what they've got. So they've got candles, which we know how I feel about that. They've got posters, you know how I feel about that. Subscriptions, what else have we got? Okay, so art, don't want any of it. Clothing, make sure you get them the right size. Books, no, we've talked about. Home, literary candles, we've talked about. Tea gift sets, we've talked about. Pennants, what are pennants? Oh, okay, so art. So we're not getting that. Cushions, that's home stuff. Magnets. Magnets are a cute option, like magnets or stickers or enamel pins. Something small like that would be really good. Pen pots, fine. Feels like a little bit like back to school shopping, but cool, you do you. Frames, yeah, great. Is this bookish? No, it's really not. It's just for the posters that they sell. Mugs. Okay, let's talk about mugs. Mugs are an awesome option. Mugs, glasses, coasters, anything like that. And let me tell you why. 1, because you can find a really wide variety. 2, because they will fit into almost any budget. 3,
because they do a brilliant job of expressing personality in a way that can be safely put away behind a cupboard door when the person does not want it out. You're getting someone something that they are likely to see and use often without giving them the dilemma of it like clashing with other things that they have. Nobody cares if people's mugs don't match. Maybe they'll have a nice pretty matching set out on their shelf, but then they'll have the mugs they actually use stashed in a cupboard somewhere. Like, that's what you're getting them. And even if it's not a particularly good mug, even if it's meant to be funny and they don't get the joke, or even if it's meant to be intellectual and it goes over their head, it doesn't matter because people will use mugs even if they don't get them. Everyone loves a good mug, so just definitely mugs are an awesome option. Probably my top recommendation, in fact. Now let's see what Etsy has to offer. Straight away, we've got coasters, which, like I said, is a really good option alongside mugs. Really, really good one. I personally really like this artwork, but again, it falls into the category of don't buy someone something for their home. And also, I love it, but I have no idea where I would put it. I have no spare wall space in my house where this could go. I love embossing stamps and stamps for people to build their own personal library. I'm actually going to be doing this next year, like properly building out my library, because I bought myself a stamp. I didn't go as far as to get like the self-inking version, which means that my ADHD brain has not actually managed to do anything with it yet because it required a second step. But I'm going to get there and I'm going to build out my library. So I actually think this is a great option as well. Really cool clothes, but again, make sure you get the size right. T-shirts and sweatshirts and stuff are sometimes more of a safe bet than other clothing items because you can size up and know that people are gonna, even if they're a bit baggy, they're gonna like enjoy that fit usually. Most people do anyway. I do love this tote bag. This is really interesting because it's like a different shape, but still, don't get people tote bags, but like you could buy me this tote bag. I give you permission. Blind date with a book, somehow even worse than just getting them a book. Finally, let's take a look at the Literary Gift Company and see what they've got to offer. So they've got like categories here. Bags we've talked about. Bathroom. Okay, so I feel like soaps tend to fall into the same category as candles, where like it really depends on what they smell like. I would say that soaps are less risky than candles actually when it comes to the smell, because no one's trying to make soap that smells like books. It's always going to be soap that's like got a book cover on it or is like inspired by a certain book. I've not seen anyone being like library scented soap. So maybe that's a bit safer in terms of scent. Also, it feels like the kind of thing that people might rotate out the scents that they're using, whereas candles, maybe people are doing that for a specific enjoyment, and so they're pickier about it. However, I think that bathroom products in general can be seen a little bit as like a throwaway gift, as in like, I didn't know what else to get you. I personally, the first year that I was with my husband, got 3 different bath sets from his family because they didn't know me. They didn't know what else to get me. And sometimes it can just feel a bit impersonal. So maybe make it like part of a bigger gift. Confectionery, that's interesting. Let's have a look at that. We've got 2 things in here, Pride and Peppermints and Alice's Enchantments. Clever. Again, a good addition to a gift maybe. It's quite small. Could be a good like Secret Santa if you have a small budget. Cushions, don't get. Can you, like, I'm really struggling to picture the room where these cushions would be at home. Enamel pins and badges, great option. I feel like even if someone isn't like super into enamel pins, and we all know those people, those readers who are like super into enamel pins. Even if they're not, they'll find somewhere to put that is on display. Purses, pouches, and wallets. Okay, I love the idea of a pouch. So let's talk about why. I think it's similar to clothing, but you don't have to guess on the size. And also, everyone needs like little pouches all the time. I recently went on a work trip and I needed like a pouch for all of my cords, a pouch for my jewelry, a pouch for my toiletries. And like, I love this Jane Eyre one, for example, but like, honestly, even if you got me one that I didn't think was that interesting or that cool, if it was a good pouch, I would absolutely still use it and still appreciate it. So pouches are definitely a good option. And they also could be good for like putting other parts of the present in it. And that's all we've got.
Okay, so what did we learn? First of all, we learned that every single freaking website on the internet breaks all of my rules about gifting to book lovers. We also learned that there are a lot of really good gifts out there, but they tend to be where books intersect with other hobbies and interests. So it's really important to just think about the person that you're gifting to and think about what's going to work really well for them and their interests. So for me, for example, I would love things that have crossover interests with gardening or with tea or with snacks. But for other people, that may not be true for them. Most of the favorites that I had when I was looking at the list were either super specific to me or they were really low commitment items. So things like mugs, enamel pins, coasters, pouches, things that will bring small moments of joy to someone's life, things that will show how well you know them and how much they love books, but that are not going to be a burden to them in their day-to-day life. And if you have slightly missed the mark, it's not going to diminish their enjoyment of the gift and their ability to use it. I think that's really the key, is just making sure that you're giving someone something that they're actually going to be able to use. And bookish is just a theme, right? The actual gift has to function for them. So make sure the function is there, and then the bookish element can be an added layer of enjoyment on top of that. I really hope that helped you, and if you're one of my family or friends, you've got plenty of great gift ideas for me now. I'd also love to know what you think. If you completely disagree with me, maybe you love book-scented candles, maybe I'm completely wrong about that. Let me know in the comment what you think of my recommendations and what you as a book lover would love to receive as a gift. Whatever you're celebrating this winter season, I hope that you have a lovely festive period and that you're surrounded by people that you love. I personally am going to be right here reading and writing and posting more content for you. So if you don't want to miss any of that, be sure to hit subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.